You might believe that letting your dog sleep in your bed is only a sweet routine. But research from New York reveals nearly 7 out of 10 dog owners invite their pets into the bedroom. For many, it feels comforting. Yet science shows it can do far more. This habit can shape your emotional well-being, your sleep quality, and the bond you share with your dog. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden effects of bedtime snuggles, proof that something so ordinary may hold extraordinary meaning. So what exactly happens when you drift off with your dog beside you? 1. Why so many people let their dogs sleep in bed? Have you ever wondered why so many people allow their dogs into the bed every single night? At first glance, it seems like nothing more than a sweet habit, a way to keep close to the animal you love. But when researchers in New York asked over 1,000 owners about their nightly routines, nearly 70% admitted their dogs slept in the bedroom, and half said they were right there under the blankets. Why do we open that sacred space, a place we usually guard with privacy, to a creature that sheds snores and sometimes takes up more space than we do? The answer is rarely just about comfort. For many older adults, or those who live alone, that warm body curled against them is more than company. It is a reminder that they are not facing the night alone. Imagine lying down in silence after a heavy day, and then feeling a gentle weight at your side, steady breathing, matching yours. Isn't that more than habit? It's almost instinct, a calling from something ancient. As we step deeper, you'll see this nightly ritual is not just personal choice, but biology and emotion woven together. And what comes next may surprise you even more. 2. The hidden emotional bond created at night. When a dog curls up beside you at night, it may look like nothing more than affection. But what if I told you that something invisible, almost magical, is happening under the surface? Researchers discovered that when dogs sleep close to their humans, their heartbeats and breathing often fall into rhythm with ours. It is as if two separate lives begin to move in harmony, like instruments in the same song. Have you ever felt your dog sigh just as you exhaled, as though the two of you shared one body for a brief moment? That is not coincidence. It is biology whispering trust. In the wild, wolves only sleep shoulder to shoulder with those they trust to guard their lives. Tonight in your quiet room, your dog is telling you the same story: I choose you as my pack. And for you, in moments of loneliness or sorrow, that presence can feel like an anchor holding you steady in a storm. But what if this silent bond is shaping more than feelings? Could it actually change the way your body rests? The way your sleep unfolds? The answer lies in the next discovery, and it may shift how you think about every night you share your bed. 3. Do dogs really improve your sleep or disturb it? We often hear dog owners say, "My dog never disturbs my sleep." And maybe that feels true. You drift off, wake up, and nothing seems unusual. But what if I told you that your body may be reacting to their tiniest movements even when you don't notice? In one study, women who wore sleep trackers showed subtle shifts in rest every time their dog twitched or shuffled. Imagine a stone dropped into a pond. The ripples may be small, but they still reach the shore. Could it be that your dog is the stone in your nightly waters? Yet here is the twist. While some interruptions occur, many people also find that sleeping beside a dog locks them into steadier rhythms, almost like having a gentle metronome beside the bed. You fall asleep faster, wake at more consistent times, and follow your dog's natural clock without realizing it. Isn't that curious? A creature who once followed the moon and stars now guides you into healthier patterns. But what if this gift comes with a hidden cost? If you've ever woken groggy and couldn't explain why, your dog's midnight shuffle might be the missing piece. And the story only deepens when we uncover how dogs soothe not just your sleep, but your restless mind. 4. How sleeping beside a dog reduces stress and anxiety. Picture the quiet of night when the world finally slows, yet your thoughts refuse to rest. The ceiling feels endless, the room too empty, your heart racing as if carrying the weight of an unseen storm. Then there's a shift. A soft body presses close, warm fur brushes your skin, and the sound of steady breathing fills the silence. Suddenly, the storm quiets. Isn't it remarkable how a dog does not speak a word, yet manages to calm a restless mind better than any lullaby? Service animals trained for veterans with PTSD prove this power. Many are taught to sleep beside their handlers because science shows their presence lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and steadies the heart. Even without training, your own dog does something similar each night, offering a kind of therapy wrapped in fur and trust. Some owners describe it as a living anchor, keeping them from drifting too far into loneliness or panic. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The relief isn't only emotional. That nightly calm spills into physical health, lowering blood pressure, slowing your pulse, and creating a space where your body can finally heal. Yet, could there be another layer, still hidden one, that affects not only your mood, but the very strength of your immune system? That surprising connection is where we're heading next. 5. Boosting your immune system. While you sleep, most of us think of sleep as the time when the body simply shuts down like a house with its lights turned off. But in truth, the night is when your body repairs, restores, and quietly fights its unseen battles. Now, imagine adding your dog into that picture. While they curl up beside you, they may also be giving your immune system a secret gift. Strange, isn't it? We usually think of dogs as carriers of dirt fur and allergens. But research shows that early and regular exposure to the microbes dogs bring indoors can actually strengthen human defenses. It's like training your body's soldiers with small skirmishes, so they're ready for the real fight. Children who grow up with dogs are less likely to develop asthma and allergies later in life. For adults, those nightly snuggles can broaden your immune system's awareness, teaching it tolerance instead of overreaction. And beyond microbes, the act of stroking a dog releases oxytocin, a hormone that lowers inflammation and helps your body heal. So while you drift through dreams, your dog's presence may be quietly rewriting your biology, pushing you toward resilience. But of course, every gift comes with a warning. For some, especially those with fragile health or compromised immunity, that same closeness could carry risks. And this is where our story takes a sharp turn, because the comfort of sleeping with a dog isn't always harmless. What dangers might be hiding beneath the blankets? That's what we need to face next. 6. When sharing a bed could be a health risk for many. The idea of sleeping with a dog feels like comfort itself. But comfort can be deceptive. Think of your bed as a sanctuary, a private temple where your body retreats to heal. Now, imagine that temple slowly being filled with invisible guests, bacteria, allergens, even tiny parasites that your dog unknowingly carries in from the outside world. You may not see them, but they're there, hitchhiking on paws, fur, and even their breath. Could this sacred space turn into a hidden battleground? For most healthy people, the immune system adapts, even grows stronger. But for those with asthma, severe allergies, or weakened immunity, the risk is real. A restless cough in the night, a skin rash that won't fade, or that heavy morning fatigue. Sometimes the culprit is the very companion you invited under the covers. It's not betrayal, it's biology. Dogs explore the ground we would never dare to touch with bare hands, and they bring a piece of that world back to us each evening. So does this mean you must banish your dog from the bed forever? Not always. With mindful hygiene, regular vet care, and simple boundaries, you can still share that warmth without sacrificing your health. But the question lingers: what happens when your dog decides not to share the bed with you at all? Could that choice carry a message you're missing? The answer lies in the next chapter of this story. 7. Why some dogs refuse to sleep next to you. Not every dog curls up at your feet or nestles into your side. Some prefer the floor, the hallway, even the far corner of another room. At first, it can sting. You might wonder, does my dog love me less? But often the truth is more practical than painful. Imagine an older dog, joints aching like rusted hinges, choosing the firm ground over the soft sway of a mattress. Or think of a dog with a keen nose unsettled by the faint scent of detergent on your sheets. To them, the bed may not feel like safety, but discomfort. Other times, refusal is about independence. Dogs, like people, carry moods and preferences. Just as you sometimes crave solitude, your dog may want its own space, a patch of floor where it can stretch, breathe, and keep watch like a quiet guardian. It doesn't mean rejection. In fact, many dogs choose positions that allow them to guard doors or windows, protecting you in silence while you sleep. Isn't that a different kind of devotion? But here's the hidden warning when a dog suddenly stops sleeping beside you. After years of closeness, it could be more than preference. Pain, stress, or illness might be whispering through that choice. Ignoring it could mean missing early signs of trouble. So the question is not just where your dog sleeps, but why. And as we peel back this layer, we must also confront another truth. Sharing a bed is not only about feelings, it's about hygiene too. And that's where the next twist in our story begins. 8. The hygiene risks. No one talks about your bed is supposed to be a sanctuary. A place where the sheets smell fresh, the air feels clean, and your body can finally let go of the day. But what if, without realizing it, you've invited the outside world into that sanctuary? Dogs live close to the ground. Their paws walk across sidewalks, grass, dirt, and sometimes things we'd rather not imagine. When they climb under your blankets, they bring tiny traces of that world with them. You don't see it, but it's there like invisible shadows, clinging to their fur. Have you ever woken with an itch on your skin, or noticed your pillow didn't feel as fresh after your dog had burrowed into it? That's not just in your head. Studies have found that beds shared with pets often hold higher levels of allergens, dander, and even bacteria. For most healthy adults, the body fights these off quietly. But for seniors, people with asthma, or anyone with a fragile immune system, these hidden guests can trigger restless nights, coughing fits, or worse, infections that creep in silently. And then there's the subtle erosion of rest. A dog shifting, licking, or scratching in the night may scatter particles into the air, disturbing not only your sleep, but also the very air you breathe. It's like sharing your sanctuary with a visitor who never fully leaves. Does this mean you should push your dog away? Not necessarily, but it does mean awareness is vital. Wash bedding, often groom your dog regularly, and keep that sacred space balanced between love and health. Still, hygiene is only one side of the story. The body doesn't just react to risks, it also thrives on hidden benefits. Could sleeping with your dog actually protect your heart in ways medicine struggles to? That's the surprising truth we uncover next. 9. The surprising heart and blood pressure benefits. Think about the last time you placed your hand on your dog's chest and felt that steady rhythm beneath your palm. It's not just comforting, it's contagious. Studies show that the simple act of petting a dog can lower blood pressure and slow your heartbeat, almost as if your body is tuning itself to the calm tempo of theirs. Now, imagine this happening, not for a few minutes, but for hours through the night, as you both breathe in sync under the same blankets. Could it be that your dog is silently reshaping your heart's health while you sleep? Doctors often warn us that stress is the hidden thief of longevity, sneaking into our bodies and eroding the heart with every restless night. But a dog lying against you acts like a shield against that thief. Their presence reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone, which relaxes blood vessels and eases strain on the heart. For older adults, where hypertension is a constant shadow, this nightly companionship can be more powerful than any white noise machine or relaxation tape. It's nature's medicine delivered through fur and trust. But here's the twist worth lingering on. While the benefits are profound, they are not universal. For some, the very closeness that calms the heart may also rob the body of deep restorative sleep, undoing some of that healing. It's a delicate balance, like walking a tightrope between comfort and risk. So how do you know if your dog is helping your health or quietly stealing from it? The answer may lie in the patterns of your sleep itself, patterns that shift over time in ways more profound than most realize. And that's where our story takes us next. 10. Long-term sleep patterns shaped by your dog. Have you ever noticed how dogs seem to know exactly when it's time to rest? And when it's time to rise, they live by rhythms, written not on clocks, but in their bodies, tuned to daylight meals and instinct. When you let a dog share your bed, those rhythms don't just stay inside them, they begin to shape yours. Slowly, almost invisibly, your nights fall into sync with theirs. You might find yourself going to bed earlier, waking at steadier times, as if your dog has become a living, breathing alarm clock. Sleep researchers call this entrainment when one rhythm pulls another into alignment. But for you, it feels more like companionship. Instead of tossing and turning at midnight, or waking in the haze of dawn, your body learns to follow the calm pattern beside it. Think of it as a tide. Pulling a boat, your dog is the tide, and you are carried along without even noticing. Over months, even years, this can reshape your health, improving consistency, stabilizing mood, and sharpening focus through the day. Yet not all patterns are blessings. Dogs sometimes stir at odd hours, responding to sounds outside or their own restless energy. If repeated, those small disruptions can carve into your long-term rest like water wearing down stone. The question becomes, is your dog guiding you toward balance, or slowly teaching your body to live in fragments of sleep? The answer isn't simple, but it leads us to the final question in this journey. Because sometimes the clearest signal comes not when a dog stays by your side, but when it chooses to step away. 11. Signs. It's time to let your dog sleep separately. Every bond has its seasons, even the quiet ritual of sharing a bed with your dog. For years, it may feel perfect, steady warmth, rhythmic breathing, comfort against loneliness. But sometimes, the bed itself begins to whisper warnings. Have you ever woken groggy, your head heavy, as if you never truly rested, or noticed your dog pacing, scratching, even jumping down in the middle of the night? These are not random quirks. They are signs subtle as shadows that the time together in bed may no longer serve both of you. Older dogs with aching joints may find soft mattresses hard to navigate. For them, each climb is like a hill, each jump down a risk of pain. Allergies or immune issues in humans can also turn nightly closeness into a hidden health hazard. And sometimes the signal is emotional. A dog that once nestled close but now chooses the floor may not be rejecting you. It may simply be asking for space, a chance to breathe easier in its own corner. Can love still be love, even with a little distance? The answer is yes. True devotion isn't measured by inches of mattress, but by the unseen thread that ties you together across the room. Sometimes stepping apart at night strengthens the bond during the day, giving both body and mind the rest they crave. And here is the final loop: whether your dog curls at your side or on the rug nearby, what matters most is trust. Trust that in the morning, those same eyes will greet you, tail wagging, heart loyal. Because love isn't confined to the bed, it fills the home you share, and it always waits for you at dawn.